Welcome back, everyone. Now we are going to start with our second half of the session. So I, Dr. Nidhi Gupta, would take the opportunity to welcome our eminent speaker, Mr. Siddharth Deshmukh, Senior Advisor and Adjunct Professor, MICA, to enlighten us on the topic Global Trends in Digital Marketing. Mr. Deshmukh has co-created MICA's Digital Communication Management specialization along with other MICA faculty. He has mentored various foundation courses like digital marketing and business transformation, customer experience design, and advanced courses such as digital futures and project management, amongst the others. Siddharth's first two jobs were with Sony Entertainment Television and AT&T. He has since that time been an entrepreneur and digital venture product development evangelist for over a decade with his earlier UK-based company, Cohesia. He remains a Cohesia's advisor board and the various ventures it develops and grows. Welcome you, sir, for the session.
Okay, I heard the last sentence, I think, which is a warm welcome. Thank you so much. Can you guys hear me all right?
Sir,
Yeah.
I think some network
Yes,
issue
sir,
on
we
the
can hear you.
All right, excellent. So hi guys. First off, thank you so much. I'm sure you had your lunch and just about to nod off to sleep, but here I am like a bad penny trying to bore you for some time. But trust me, this is not going to be a very long time, and hopefully we are going to have a little bit of fun along the way. What I'm proposing to do is talk about global trends in digital marketing, or rather marketing in a digital world as it stands today. Now, the fact is that I'm not going to use any PowerPoint, and that's one of the trends that no, not really. That's not one of those trends. It makes me an exception because what I have recognized, because I study the human brain a little more than what is required, is that there is something called death by PowerPoint. So even if the speaker is very nice and very intelligent, if I open up a PowerPoint, people start sleeping. So the whole idea is to make sure that we are engaged in a conversation. So the fact is that whenever when I'm going to ask some stupid questions along the way. So whenever you have any thoughts, please share those thoughts over here on the chat, and then we can go about kind of dissecting those. I'm not going to speak more than 40 minutes, after which we can have 15-20 minutes of question and answers. And if I don't answer any questions over here because of a lack of time, please reach out to me on LinkedIn or on Instagram, wherein I'm known as the traveling professor, as somebody has mentioned, and just put your question out there, and I'll be happy to answer it in some form or the other. Normally, what I end up doing is I kind of combine questions in a pattern and try to answer them through a podcast episode, which can come out. So I hope everyone's ready, and we can start. Yeah, you can put a thumbs up if you're okay with me starting. All right, good. Okay, so now, why should we be studying global trends, right? What's the importance of studying global trends? I mean, what's the big deal of trying to learn something that's happening in the US or the UK or Europe or China or wherever it is, and when India is kind of doing its own thing? I mean, if I look at it, India has not got TikTok. Okay, India's got different levers. India's got a strong rural population. India's which is strongly on digital now, and it's quite different from the rest of the world. So why in the world should we be studying digital and global trends in this digital world for any length of time? And why is that so important for us? Well, I'm going to give you a little bit of a story which might help us understand what the hell is actually happening in the world and how it actually makes an impact on Indians. Now, in about 2004, yes, that older story. In about 2004, I was commissioned by Shadi.com's Anupam Mittal, who remains a good colleague and friend, to actually look at one of their social networking platforms that they had built. Now, this was even before Facebook had hit the scene in India, right? Just before. So those were the days of MySpace and Hi-Fi and Friendster and all of that, right? And I started kind of trying to understand whether Shadi.com's interactive social network is going to succeed or not. I was called in as a strategist over there. So we did some focus group research, and we tried to figure out, okay, what do people think, not only about Fropper, but overall about social media in India. And at that point in time, I thought, aha, I'll be very clever. I'll ask all the heavy users of social media at that point in time, and I will ask them what do they prefer. And you know what everybody said? Any guesses? They said, MySpace rocks, Facebook sucks. Okay. And I was like, okay, that's what the Janta Janardhan is saying. So that's what it must be like, right? And funnily enough, just a year later, all these very intelligent people had dropped MySpace like a hot potato and they were on Facebook. So what the hell happened? I mean, why would people who were committing themselves to a specific social medium suddenly shift tracks and go to a Facebook? Okay, when at just a year back, these super heavy users were criticizing Facebook. They told me during the interviews that, yeah, Facebook jo hai na, it is a very it's a very private network. Nobody can check out each other's content, and it's not a very good idea to do that. And just 1 year later, everyone was on Facebook, and I was like, okay, what happened here? And that's when I actually kind of realized that we need to understand what is happening in the US in order for us to be able to predict what's going to happen in India maybe a little while later. It is as if, as I think Alvin Toffler said, it is as if, the future is already here. It is just unevenly distributed. So it actually means that Facebook started off, as anybody who's seen the movie Social Network, it started off in, Harvard. It moved to California, after which it moved through all the colleges in the US. Then it spread across the US. Then it went to Europe, spread across Europe. And by the time India actually got infected by Facebook, okay, wow, okay, we thought we were like really amazing because we have discovered Facebook for the first time. But actually, we were part of a huge global trend. And typically, India falls in what they call the early majority, rather than we are not early adopters or innovators. We are early majority. So a TikTok can start in China, a Facebook can start in the US, something else can start in Silicon Valley, and so on and so forth. And we, over a period of time, fall in the early majority segment of that product's life cycle, and we start coming into the action a little too late. So as somebody who teaches a subject called digital futures in more than one institute, what I've figured out is that for digital marketing to be truly effective, we need to understand global trends in digital marketing in order to kind of sort of predict the future of what is going to come our way in just a very short time. So my perspective is global trends are extremely important in order for us to stay one step ahead in our domestic game as well. So I hope that point is absolutely clear to everybody, right? Okay. So what's the first? I'm going to only talk of 3 trends. There can be many trends. There can be 10 trends. There can be 20 trends. But I'm only going to talk of 3 trends in marketing, which are going to be of importance for you. The first important trend is I wanted to talk about advertising versus organic content. Okay. So what do I mean by advertising versus organic content? So let me ask my first silly question. Perhaps Aishwarya Jain, who's heard my lecture in Upgrade, knows the answer. So everybody else is allowed to answer, but not her. Okay. So the first question I have is, how many of you skip YouTube ads? Yeah. Let's say, 8 times out of 10. Yeah. Yeah, wonderful. Okay. So the fact is that almost all of us skip YouTube ads. Okay. And we are thinking of going and doing marketing wherein we create YouTube ads, right? So now that's a dichotomy. It's a problem that we are facing, because if I look at the way in which YouTube itself is progressing, why do we take so much of importance on advertising? when the whole world is shifting towards organic content and it's pushing through. Now, what is happening over here is a very deep global trend, right? In fact, Professor Jay Trivedi of MICA unfortunately passed away from COVID just recently. Very dear colleague of mine. He and I wrote a paper which was looking at two kinds of advertising on YouTube. One was the 6 second or 5 second non-skippable ad, and the 6 second non-skippable ad, and there was one ad which actually you can skip after 5 seconds. It goes on for 30 seconds, but you can skip after 5 seconds. Yeah, bumper ads, right? So the fact is that people overwhelmingly chose the the skippable ad rather than the non-skippable ad. So I was like, what the hell? Yeah, for 1 second, people can't be patient. What is this? Is this like really attention spans have reduced to such an extent that you can't wait for 1 second? But then I realized that it is not just about that second. So after we did some more research on it, and we figured out that people love the illusion of control you have when you skip that ad. All of us love to skip that ad. You want to press that thing and skip it. Yes, you made it. Because the fact is that there was a time, and I'm sure some of you might have heard from your parents or grandparents or something, that there was a time when the advertising was way better in terms of the content that rather than the program, right? Like in Chitrahar or Chaya Geet or whatever those songs used to be Purana, and they used to be like Ghisa Pita, and they used to be just repeated all over again. But I used to look forward. Yes, I'm that old. I used to look forward to the advertising before the program. Now things have changed so much that I want to skip ads all the time. So the biggest trend that we must understand is the difference between advertising and digital marketing through organic content. Because the moment we understand this, suddenly the whole way in which we look at brand building or even marketing communication changes, right? Advertising does not become the center stage. What is happening right now in India or anywhere else is that we create a campaign first, and then we say, how do I put it on social media? How do I put it on Google AdWords? How do I create the same thing, same content and put it across? But the whole thing is being turned on its head, and it is turned on its head because the customer, that is people like me, people like you, we are all getting more and more sophisticated, and we can smell advertising. We can smell advertising and we can skip advertising. So the moment that happens, and plus then there are ad blockers, then there are premium services. You can always go to a YouTube premium and completely finish off with the advertising, or Spotify premium, or whatever you want to call it. And we are in a situation where advertising is playing a lesser and lesser role. I'm not saying it is completely redundant, but it is playing a lesser and lesser role and a different role. And organic content is coming up to a large degree. So that is global trend number one. Global trend number one is organic content is extremely important because it allows you to convert your marketing communications from campaign mode to conversation mode. Now that becomes extremely important. You have to have a conversation with your target group, okay, which goes beyond the campaign. You're not like this huge brand devata who's giving information like this to all those willing supplicant customers anymore. What you're doing is you're engaging in a conversation, okay, with your target groups. Now, how can we have a conversation like this when you're nothing but a brand? You might ask, right? And this is where a brand needs to be more than a brand. Because the fact of the matter is that nobody wants to go to a Facebook and go and see some company's insurance page. Okay. So if I'm an insurance company, I'll have a page on Facebook and I'll say, oh, I've got 1 lakh likes, and people have, but the fact is that those are useless metrics, because nobody actually really wants to see an insurance company's page on Facebook, because that is what I said, a brand talking down to customers. But if I have to now say, what does insurance actually stand for? It stands for having a conversation about how I can protect my life, my health, and stuff like that. So can I then create a community and create organic content around that core pain point, which insurance as a product is trying to solve, right? So therefore, I will have different kinds of content. I will not have an insurance page. I could have a improve your health page, or improve your risks page, or something of that sort. Or I could collaborate with other pre-existing communities and make sure that I sponsor them in some ways. So the whole way in which a brand is communicating to customers is changing, and it is changing from campaign to conversation. And that is because people are now believing lesser and lesser in advertising. So is this point clear? Is trend number one clear? Yeah. Okay. Can you see it? Any doubts? Any questions? Happy to answer. Now, I'm not saying advertising is dead, right? Sir, isn't organic reach slowly decreasing across all the platforms? Absolutely, Aishwarya. And I'm going to get to how you can solve that through another global trend, right? But give it some, and that's my third trend. So wait a minute. I have to talk about my second trend first. Anything else? Any other question? Happy to answer. So having kind of established the first trend, let's move on to the second trend. Okay. The second trend is another interesting one. Okay. I'm going to ask a question. Suppose you wanted to buy a car or a scooter for yourself. Suppose you wanted to buy a car or a scooter for yourself, right? How would you go about doing it? What's the first thing you will do? Reviews on Google. Perfect. Compare. Perfect. Absolutely. Anything else? Lovely. Make a budget. Yes. Would you ask people on your WhatsApp group? Would you ask people on YouTube videos? Absolutely. Unboxing videos on YouTube. Will you ask people, on Facebook, ki ye kaisa hai, etc. You will, right? The last thing you will do, yes, you can go to a Quora, see recommendations, go to Reddit, see whatever the hell you go for, yeah. But the last thing you will go for is the company website. Absolutely, Sri. The last thing is the website. And the reason why we go the last thing on the website is because we know कि website पे साले बेचते हैं. Okay, the whole idea becomes that website पे सब लोग बेचते हैं. Everyone sells on a website, right? So I'm not going to trust information that is coming out of a website as much I'm going to trust information that is going to come out of people I trust. Zishan, so it is not just public, but it's people that I'm trusting. So my family, my friends, okay, even strangers who have similar interests. And that is how things actually start working. So now that actually also tells us something really interesting. And Sri is saying something very interesting, which is user experience. Now, this means that I will only trust the experience more than the image building exercises. So it's taking off from the earlier trend, and it is now coming to the next trend. Brand experience becomes bigger than brand image. Now, what do I mean by that? So first of all, you have to understand how I define a brand. A brand is nothing but a set of perceptions that we have about a product, a service, or a person over a period of time, right? Now, this set of perceptions can be created with the actual experience. Okay, I might go into a coffee shop and sit over there and therefore have an experience of a Starbucks, or I can see a hoarding of Starbucks outside, right? So brand experience creates a set of perceptions, and brand image also creates a set of perceptions. Guess which is stronger? Brand experience becomes way stronger than brand image when it comes to actual believability from potential customers. Now, this brings about a bigger challenge for marketers. This means that all marketing, not even advertising, is being looked upon with doubt. So therefore, marketers have to utilize all their skills or all their abilities and all their tricks and whatever you want to call it into creating a great experience rather than actually creating a great image. Again, I'm not saying stop all marketing activities. Again, I'm not saying stop all brand image creation activities, but the emphasis globally is certainly shifting from image building to experience. Now that has a big impact on us, because the impact that it is having on us is, it means that we have to upskill ourselves. We have to change our skill set. We cannot only learn tools and techniques of doing AdWords, Google AdWords or Facebook marketing or Instagram marketing or whatever, and be happy with it, because that is going to shrink in size and impact, okay, and scale as and how the customer gets sophisticated. Customers are getting sophisticated because today the amount of information that a customer has and the amount of information that a brand has is one and the same. Sometimes the customer has more information. All of you know, if you go to a doctor, what's the first thing you do? You find out कि यार मुझे ये हो रहा है, these are the things that I've got, I must be having this disease. So you already gotten yourself into a bad frame of mind. But not only that, but you go to the doctor and you tell him what disease you have and what medicines I should have, right? And the funny thing is, the doctor is like, why am I here then, right? It is very weird. Now the same thing happens in a classroom. Okay, that's one of the reasons why I don't use PowerPoint, right? Because a lot of professors, well-meaning, get data from a lot of sources and create PowerPoint presentations of the same. But then there are some really, smart students who will say, "Sir, आपने वो उधर से लिया है ना, वो slide share से? You've taken this from this slide share. You've taken this from this slide share. So what are you doing?" Right? And then suddenly the student has an upper hand in the conversation. So patient-doctor relationship, a student-teacher relationship, and a brand customer relationship all are now becoming very, very different because they are at the same level. And that level is making sure that now I can't talk any nonsense or bullshit, right? I have to focus on creating the right experience, convince you as to why I'm good, so that you will part with your hard-earned money with me and not somebody else. So the second trend that I wanted to talk about was exactly this, which is brand experience is becoming much bigger than brand image. Are we clear on this front? Is this global trend very clear? Today, we may see a lot of advertising. Just wait. 1 year later, you'll have a different India. Yeah. Okay. Right. By the way, just before I get into the third and final trend, I wanted to speak about a couple of mini trends which you should also keep in mind. One of the core and important things is that the whole world of search itself is changing globally. Now, why is this changing? Okay. Everyone thinks, yeah, Google uncle is God only. How can that change? But again, the sophistication of the customer comes into being. Today, when I want to buy something, I will go directly to a Zomato. When I for food, when I want to buy something else, I'll go directly to an Amazon. Or maybe a Swiggy, or maybe an Airbnb, or maybe an Uber or whatever. So what is happening? People have already bypassed Google. So which means the number of use cases for Google is reducing. Which means that the nature of search on Google is also changing. So on Google, I'm going to check out when I genuinely don't have an option in mind. This was very different even 10 years ago. 10 years ago, you used to go to Google, you used to search, and then you used to try to figure out what's what. Today, you go directly to a Flipkart, you go directly to an Amazon, you go directly to a Zomato. And that's why the search business is completely changing. The search business is also changing because of another factor. Okay. It is changing because people are now moving rapidly towards voice search. Now, how does that make a difference? People will say, yeah, search engine optimization will still remain the same, even if it moves from text to voice. And this is where we don't understand things unless and until we understand the human brain. See, how will I use voice? I will use voice by using different parts of my brain. So the way in which I will search will become different from the way in which I will text for search. When I'm texting, what am I doing? I'm using my prefrontal cortex. My prefrontal cortex is my logical, rational side of my brain, which allows me to rationally create a query in a search engine and therefore get some responses. If I'm doing a voice search, what am I going to say? Yaar, koi to acha Chinese restaurant batao. Yeah. Hey Siri, tell me a great Chinese restaurant nearby. And as I said the word, the Siri on my phone actually started talking to me, by the way. So I need to make that Siri shut up. So the fact is that you have a situation where you are in a very deep change as far as searching is concerned. Searching is directly happening on other places, and also B, searching is also happening through voice. Now, what does that mean? That means that the way in which you can make your brand come up on top is by changing the way in which your search engine is optimized. The way in which your search engine is optimized should be for voice rather than text, or at least a combination of both. In fact, in the West, what is genuinely happening is if I am trying to search for something local, I will be always searching with voice. If I'm searching for something global, I'll be trying to search with text. Think about it, it makes sense. Suppose you're trying to find a local pastry shop or a local restaurant. Okay, you're going to quickly use, because you're on the move, you're there, you're moving already. And so therefore my mind when I'm moving is very different from my mind when I'm in front of a desktop and trying to search aram se, or in front of a phone and trying to search at my own leisure. It's a very different perspective and mindset and context that the same person has when that person is searching. So for that, we really need to deeply understand the consumer journey. Okay, and the consumer journey brings about a lot of different contexts with it. And because it brings a lot of different contexts with it, the nature of search is changing, right? So that was a bonus 2.5 point, I would say. Is everybody clear about the changing nature of search? Are we clear on this? I couldn't resist. I wasn't going to talk about it, but I thought I have to talk about it. Yeah. It is going to become more and more important. So we've spoken about maybe 3 things right now. We've spoken about advertising versus organic content. The second, we've spoken about brand experience becoming bigger than brand image, right? Third thing, we've spoken about how the nature of search itself is changing, right? Now, the final thing. Now, how many of you say, yeah, my Instagram photos are not getting too many likes because they've changed the algorithm again? What is this algorithm business, right? What is an algorithm? Is it some magic formula that Instagram uses or Twitter uses? And what is this formula all about? Why? What does this formula actually do? What is it doing? Anybody? You can chat very quickly. Visibility, Aman is saying. Interesting. Visibility. Is that enough, Aman? Is that enough? See, you're talking like a marketer. Sri is saying prioritize. Interesting. Why is it prioritized the way it is? Why does the algorithm prioritize certain content over some other content? Rules. Yes, rules exist for a reason. Why? Guidelines. Sure, Mudit. But why do they exist? It promotes the things based on what people pay more attention to. Sukhbir, perfectly bang on, right? Now, the fact is, I want you to forget the word algorithm for a while and go back to the earlier point that I was making, not about search, but about brand experience. And move the word brand also and talk about user experience. Now, Facebook is in the business of keeping your eyes on Facebook. Everything else is secondary. Sure, it cares about the advertisers. Sure, it cares about, everything else like governments and all of that. But it cares more about you being engaged completely on Facebook. Now, that can only happen if the user experience that I am providing as Facebook to my users is engaging enough. Now, the funny thing is that is encoded in a kind of formula. That means that if Dr. Deepa Kapoor is going to look at Facebook and is going to actually look at certain people and like their content or share somebody else's content or like a certain type of content, then Facebook is going to show more of that content to her, right? Now that means that you are going to be in a situation wherein you're in your own bubble, okay, of content which is created by yourself, by your liking, your disliking, etc., etc. But here's the interesting thing. Dr. Deepa Kapoor is not a permanent entity over here. She is going to evolve as well. And when she evolves, her tastes will evolve too. Okay. Maybe Zishan liked Salman Khan about 5 years back, but now he saw Radhe Most Wanted Bhai and said, "Ye nahi chahiye bhai," right? Mujhe ye nahi chahiye. So then what does that mean? That means that Zishan has actually evolved over a period of time. Interest, not just interest, passions and causes and movements and everything shifts based upon how you shift. So therefore, what is Facebook trying to do? Facebook is only trying to map Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, replace anything with your favorite social media. What is, Zishan is saying he's always a Salman fan. He is hopeless, but everybody else who has seen are they most wanted by. Okay, sorry, Zishan. The fact is that if I look at the way in which we evolve, the way in which we evolve is reflected by Facebook. So as a marketer, what do I need to do? I need to understand the algorithm is nothing but an expression of the user experience, which is nothing but an expression of how your customer is evolving and what trends the customer is following. Because the moment we understand it like that, what we do as marketers is then we say, okay, what will Dr. Nidhi Gupta actually like next? And now that becomes a very, very interesting question to answer as far as a marketer is concerned. So then, as a brand, what I will do are two things. One is I'll stop selling my own brand, but I will try to understand what she likes about, something which might get remotely connected with what my brand can offer. So let's say what Nike does. Nike is into shoes, but Nike understands that shoes is running. Running is a trend. Trends on the increasing thing. Why? Because it's deeply connected to individualism. Running is deeply connected to individualism. People are, having more and more alone time. People are using more and more alone time, putting on their music. About in the 80s, there was a phenomenon called Maruti music. I'm sure people who are old enough remember how people in their Maruti 800 just to roll down their windows and blast off music so that the entire neighborhood could hear. Today, we don't do that. We are with our headphones and we are running. So it's all moving from team, society, tribe, down to individual running and all of that. Now, when I'm looking at running from that perspective, suddenly what Nike understands is if I have to connect to somebody, I have to be part of their running community. I cannot just start selling shoes. So when I do that, I am a very smart marketer. Imagine if I create organic content around that. That makes me even smarter. Imagine if I sponsor a community. That makes me even more smarter, right? So which means that the brand is going where the customer is going to go. And if you want to be on social media, the last thing you will do is to try and sell your own brand or your own page, or at least only do that. What you might want to do is try to predict what will create the best possible user experience, okay, of my brand with my target group, so that it becomes fantastic for him or her to consume on that social medium. So you have to contribute to Facebook, you have to contribute to Instagram. And that is how they're playing it. In fact, I have named this thing called Tom Sawyer marketing. And I want to end with that. Tom Sawyer marketing, I don't know how many of you heard of the legendary Mark Twain character called Tom Sawyer. Tom Sawyer was a small kid, and his aunt had given him a really painful task of painting the fence. So what Tom Sawyer did was that he thought and thought and thought, how do I get out of this lazy task? And he was just chilling out, right? He was on his hammock. He didn't know what to do, right? But then his friends came by. One of them had a nice apple. Another had a pet frog. Another one had something. And then Tom Sawyer had a brilliant idea. What he said was he started painting the fence in such a way that he was showing that what an enjoyable task this is, painting this fence, right? So suddenly his friends wanted a piece of the action. He said, hey, I want to paint the fence too. I want to paint the fence now. So he said, I want your apple. I want a frog. And then you can paint the fence. So what did Tom Sawyer actually do? He got, as Sri is saying, he got things and got the fence painted as well. By the way, guys, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter are all being Tom Sawyers. They are getting us to paint their fence for them, right? That concludes my third trend, which allows us to always understand the algorithm in terms of the user experience. So quickly to summarize, global trends are many. We should be interested in it because they will impact us a little while later. So in order to be smarter marketers, we need to understand what's happening in the US because it's going to impact India 1 year later or 1.5 years later. And that's how it goes. And I can replace US with China. I'm not a big fan of the US or China, but that's how it goes, right? Now, the fact is that advertising is changing its scope. It is reducing. Organic content is becoming big. Okay, trend number one, spoke about. Trend number two, brand experience is increasing. Okay, at the expense of brand image. Trend number three, algorithms every marketer should understand and be able to use as part and parcel of his or her toolkit. And there was a bonus 3.5 point or fourth point, which was about search. Make sure that you are kind of understanding how search itself is evolving. It is moving from Google to Amazon, and it is moving within Google from text to search. The fight for the number two search engine is no longer YouTube for Google. It is already Amazon, right? On that happy note, I hope everyone enjoyed what I had to say. And as promised, I don't think I have taken too much more than 40 minutes. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Students, you can post your questions on this chat box.
Unfortunately, Emmer, I have another engagement, so I'm unable to continue for too long. But Emmer, what I can certainly say is I can promise you, if you can put in your question to me on LinkedIn or on Instagram, I will be happy to answer you in some way or the other. That is exactly the reason why I run a podcast, because most of the conversations in class, the most important conversations happen outside of class, right? Because that's when, there's a student who's interested in learning more, a learner who's interested has that conversation over a chai with a professor. And that's when, even the professor is a little relaxed and is able to answer that question probably slightly better. So that's one of the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing. But any questions over here, happy to answer. But sometimes, what happens is, oh, I should have asked it, that question then. That's what happens. So just reach out to me. I'm easy. I'm friendly.
So don't lose the opportunity. If you have any questions, you can ask.
Yeah.
But few things, sir, you have taken us aback, like when you talked about how advertisement has changed, and in fact, when our age group sits, we can recall those advertisements. We sing along nowadays also.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right. But like nowadays, we can't even recall any of the advertisements which are coming. It's all content. What is happening?
Absolutely.
Yeah, talking about you talk about this user generated content at the last.
Yeah, it is user generated. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's no more like all those good ads just we call nowadays.
Life was simple then. You had ads and then you had programs. Now, it's very different, isn't it? And it's going to get worse and worse. Okay, I think everyone's sleepy and everyone's had enough of me. That's why those. Okay, there is a question. So, okay, Zishan is saying, what are your honest views about influencer marketing? Is it effective? Zishan, here's my answer. My daughters are idiots, but they're also influencers. They have 2 million followers on TikTok, and they have over half a million followers on Instagram. They're running an account called Iconic Cakes, and now recently they have gotten an Estee Lauder campaign for themselves. So they are models and all of that. I have seen them work very closely. Okay, and what I have understood about influencers is the real influencers are the ones who are genuinely engaging with their communities. Okay, and they will never sell a brand which doesn't connect with their value system. But there are other influencers as well who are going to go about it from a different perspective, and they're trying to cash in as quickly as possible. So as a marketer, you need to understand which influencer is actually connected to a value system that your brand is connected to, rather than which influencer is the most popular. I hope I've answered your question, Zishan. Yeah.
There are a few more questions coming. We have, how do you sell a product which is attached to a social cause?
Yeah.
For example,
Bins and littering. Yeah. Okay. Very interesting question. Now, bins and littering, they actually did an A/B test for it. Half of the time they were doing, they tested out a campaign which tried to educate people. Put wet garbage here, dry garbage here, and they ran a beautiful campaign. Okay, the campaign was that they kept a transparent bag. Okay, wherein people could see the kind of garbage that was being put in. So they tested it for half the thing, and for half the thing they tested out some model like Priyanka Chopra saying, "Hey, I keep my city clean, and so should you." Which do you think worked better? Okay, funnily enough, the one with Priyanka Chopra worked way better than the education wala campaign. That's why I always think that all educators and teachers should learn from influencers and models. The fact is that in the long term, educational campaigns work, but in the short term, incentivization works, and in the medium term, it is influence that works. Yeah. Vipul, what are your experience for ads marketing?
Yeah.
Terrible. I don't know what I didn't understand the question. Maybe think about it, Vipul, and send it to me.
You can just post your question again.
Okay. Nitika is saying advertisements leave the print of the brand in their brand. So do you think advertisement can be modified in a manner that caps the attention span of the audience not getting skipped? I think attention spans, no, it's a very interesting thought. For all those people who say that attention spans are getting reduced, please tell me have you binge watched The Family Man? So if you binge watch The Family Man, okay, that means aapka attention acha hai. Your attention is good. The only thing is that you have choices nowadays and you're exercising those choices and you're not seeing advertising. So the fact is that you have to create. That's why organic content becomes more important, because we have become very sophisticated as customers. So the fact is that an ad is not going to work as hard as it used to in Chitrahar times. It's not going to work hard because organic content competes with it. Yeah. So I refuse to believe this reduced attention span nonsense. We all binge watch, so it is not going to happen. Sukhbir, thank you, because Cred has sponsored my podcast sometimes. So, so I'm glad you didn't skip Cred's advertisement. But here's the funny question. Okay, do we know what Cred does? A lot of us actually don't know what Cred actually does. Sukhbir, you might know because you seem to have seen all of those ads. And this is not a test of your intelligence. But the fact is that awareness itself does not necessarily mean demand for the product. So if you create awareness, you need not necessarily create demand. But if you create demand, you will always create awareness. So I always call awareness a poor cousin of demand.
Yes, through ads, I think most of the people can't just see what they are actually doing, right? It's more of a celebrity, a little bit of fun element which they have brought that seats like just grab the attention of.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What's your personal experience for ads for product marketing on social media or television? My personal experience for advertising is that I skip it like you. But if I don't skip it, it means that I am studying it like a marketer. But if I'm not studying it like a marketer, or if I'm not skipping it like a consumer, I don't know what I'm doing. So I genuinely think my personal experience for advertising is that it is, seeing its final days, or it's going to transform into something completely different. Zishan is saying, sir, do you think Cred is doing an overkill with so many ads? I, I think Cred is doing a great job of creating awareness. I'm not sure whether it's creating demand. That's my only answer. Now, whether it uses too many ads or whatever, that's a secondary question. How do you respond to duration of ads getting shorter and personalized, like in Zomato? I think ads are trying a lot of ways to stay relevant. Okay, sometimes the longest possible ads can also work. So I'm not sure that everyone should templatize their ads and only make it short, because this attention span business I've just proved, it's rubbish. Okay, we binge watch when we want to. Okay. Nitika saying, you mentioned about influencer marketing. Somewhere influencers also have to initially market their content because the audience always wants to get something to learn. And do you see influencer marketing might also be the major marketing future? Yeah, influencer marketing certainly something that is on the rise, but different kinds of influencers. Your macro influencers, your micro influencers, your nano influencers, and also domain experts. Okay, a great teacher or a great doctor or a great chef who need not necessarily have millions and millions of followers on social media, but has an impact in changing people's minds, can become the influencer for the future. All right. Thank you so much for listening to me. I hope you like the no PowerPoint experience. And thank you so much for this opportunity for me to be here with you on this wonderful afternoon. And yeah.
Thank you for accepting our invitation and just sparing so much of time from your busy schedule. And we really forward to meet you again at MIT University, sir.
Yes, certainly.
Definitely.
Certainly. Certainly. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
All right. I'll take your leave then.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. See you. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Participants will just be floating the feedback for this session shortly. Please just check on a chat box. And stay with us for your quiz, second quiz. We'll just shortly start with your quiz also. But before that, please fill the feedback form.
Participants, sharp at 3 o'clock, we are going to start with the quiz. It is a time-bounded quiz from 3 to 3:30. So please be there. 30 marks quiz.
Sorry. Feedback. Can we have a feedback form on the link, please?
Participants, please don't leave. We have an assessment.
Dear participants, this is your second quiz. Please do not miss. For a certificate purpose, you need to complete this assessment. In just 1 minute, we'll be floating the quiz.
This quiz is posted in the chat box. So please, all of you start.
Feedback form, we're just sharing till the time. You can just start with the quiz, and in between, we'll share your feedback form for this particular session. But I think all of you can just focus, like, all the best for your quiz. The link has already been shared.
At 3:30, quiz get closed. Please submit your quiz by 3:30. The quiz get closed at 3:30. The link is posted in the chat box. If anyone facing any issue, please write in the chat box. This is your last assessment and a mandatory assessment. So all of you need to submit for your certification also. After quiz, we have a session on building career opportunities in digital marketing. And then we have a valedictory for the workshop. All of you need to stay till the valedictory or the closing of the workshop. Your assessments are based, or your certification is based on attendance for all the sessions plus your assessments which you have submitted. So please make sure you have to stay back till the end. Thanks participants for participating in a quiz. Now we are going to begin with our next session, building career opportunities in digital marketing. Dharmendra Pandey sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Now you are audible.
Okay.
You are, but you are not on screen.
Just give me a moment. I'm trying.
Okay. I, Dr. Nidhi Gupta, would take the opportunity to welcome Professor Dharmendra Pandey sir to share his valuable experience and knowledge on the topic building career opportunities in digital marketing. He is currently working as a faculty of digital marketing at MIT Business School, MIT University, Lucknow. He is also the chairperson of Academia, Industry Interface, and program leader of MBA program at MIT Business School, Lucknow. He is having more than 15 years of professional experience in industry, academia, consultancy, and training. His doctoral research is in internet advertising. He has handled key managerial positions with organizations of repute like Pantaloon Retail India Limited, India Mart, Intermesh Limited. He has a passion for technology driven marketing, education, and training. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nidhi. And thank you, Dr. Deepa, for being here.
Welcome.
And thank you all the panelists who are with us. Thank you all the participants. I'm seeing 102 participants currently online. So it's really a privilege for me to share my views on the topic, and I appreciate Amity School of Business to organizing such a contemporary and much needed workshop for the students and other communities. And I appreciate, and I was looking at the sessions which we were organizing for last 2 days. Before I continue, can you confirm, Dr. Nidhi, if I'm clearly audible to
Yes,
everyone?
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very much good.
Okay, thanks. So thank you very much once again for inviting me. And because I was seeing the schedule for last 2 days, and I appreciate you all have covered all the topics which are necessary, at least to have some fundamental aspects of digital marketing. Because I am in this domain for last more than 15 years, and luckily I had some experience in digital marketing as well, because I was handling more than 100 clients when I was in India Mart Intermesh Limited, and I was handling their online presence, their online content and promotions. So after that, I'm in touch with various stakeholders through university and through my own network, and I'm always trying to get what is happening in industry. So as you uh, told me yesterday, that students are very much interested to know that what are the career options available to them if they want to pursue this domain. So I want to share few things, a few categories of profiles, and few because I got to know that audience profile is mostly UG students are here, and few PG as well must be there. So considering the profile of the audience, what I have tried is to at least price you through functional, middle, and strategic level profiles, and I will focus more on functional because this is the level of profile where you all would be looking for. So let me share my screen first, and please, Dr. Nidhi, confirm when it's visible.
Okay.
Okay, I apologize for disconnection. Ma'am, I'm sharing the screen, but it is showing, okay, now it's ready. Please confirm, is it visible?
Yeah, it's visible.
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you. Just give me a moment. Okay. Uh, I hope it's visible now, everyone. Please
Yes.
confirm.
Yes,
Hello?
sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So, building career opportunities in digital marketing. So, before I proceed, just have a look at the overall digital marketing ecosystem. So, if you have to define digital marketing in just one line, so digital marketing cannot replace a digital traditional marketing, but supplement it and complements it, because it's just add a value to the traditional marketing. And how through a new media channel that is digital. And you are in this slide, if you see the core offering by any organization is your online presence. It can be in form of a website, it can be a blog, or it can be anything. So basically, it's content which is in bits and bytes, and which is at the core. And whatever you do, whatever marketing 4Ps you implement, and whatever marketing objectives you set, it revolves around your core offering, that is your online presence. It can be organic search, search engine marketing, ad campaigns, it can be email marketing, it can be editorials, social bookmarking, co-branding, affiliate marketing, widgets, podcast, SEOs, SEM, blogs, social networks, search, competitor websites, feed readers, microblogs, online games, and other things. So overall ecosystem is not outside this. So if you see, the most important entity in this ecosystem is the website or your online presence, its content, its searchability, its viewability, its overall experience that is combined by all the online marketing tools which we use. And for whom? It is for all the people in the ecosystem. Through social networks, they can come through search, they can come through competitor websites, they can come through social bookmarking like Pinterest, they can come through feed readers like all the XML readers. It can be through organic ways, it can be through inorganic ways, it can be through micro blogs like Twitters. So overall, this is what the typical digital marketing ecosystem, which I have tried to explain to you in just very briefly. Now, if you understood the ecosystem, the next is the uh, the opportunities which are in this ecosystem. What type of opportunities you can have? And before that, there are four categories of uh, from individuals point of view. If you are looking for something to make a career in digital marketing domain, so you can start as an entrepreneur, which is the first thing, but which is not the cup of tea for everyone, because entrepreneurial traits may not be inherent in everyone, and everybody is having different risk taking ability, from low, moderate to high, and also different backgrounds, different uh, expertise level, different, all the different factors which plays a role. It's not just uh, one instant you think that I should be an entrepreneur and you start working there. No, it's not like that. It takes time to groom yourself as an entrepreneur and to pursue one great idea, and then you convert that idea into a profitable venture through innovation. It can be process innovation or it can be product innovation. So you can be entrepreneur in digital marketing domain, and this is the first. Ideally, this is the best way, because you not be a job seeker, you should be a job creator. So in that way, it's good for everyone, but it's not, as I said, it's not a cup of tea for everyone. You can, the second option, if you are don't have entrepreneurial instinct, so better you should go for a professional job. Also, we can say a professional development organization, they don't call them professional but entrepreneurs. So you can also work as a professional in the organization run by some entrepreneurs. So I will throw some light on it. Online earnings, you can earn online through affiliate programs, through your own blogs, through your own channels. For example, today you see lots of YouTubers who are earning very well through online video sites like YouTube. Some online earnings are happening through affiliate marketers, through or through blogging, and by attaching your blog and online presence and listing through Google AdSense platform and earning through clicks on the ad placed on those blogs. So if your blog is popular, definitely you can cash it. But it's not easy. It takes time, commitment, frequency, recency, the dedication for a long period of time. So, but still, it's a lucrative option if you have passion towards online presence and promoting it, writing good content, quality and genuine content. And if you have n number of followers, and if for example, if your blog is highly popular, so definitely there is always an option to encash through those platforms. Freelancers are uh, independent professionals, I would say, but they are not aligned. They are not linked to any organization, but they are independent person who are writing. Like for example, if you are individual and you are working on a project basis, so you can be a freelancer. So many people are working as a freelancer. This is another opportunity which is available for you. So basically these are four important categories in which you can choose. Further on, because you all are potential, you are now will graduate very soon, so definitely there are opportunities for graduates as well as PG as well as other specialized qualifications. But today, what I will try, I will focus on mostly functional, like after graduation or PG. For a freshers, what kind of profiles which are available and what are the key roles and responsibilities which you should have. So I'm sure after this session, at least you should have a fair idea that what skills you need to acquire and what would be the day-to-day roles you are going to play and how you should proceed in your career progression. Before I proceed, because why this digital marketing opportunities are enormously growing, dramatically growing year by year. If you see the KPMG report is 2020 by Statistica and KPMG 2019, the overall growth is 1370. Just you can compare just in 3 years time. It's just 2021 and 2017, just 3 to 4 years time, it has gone from 13-17 million investment in types of online ad spending by companies from 1370 to 2864, and prediction is 3554. So you can see, and if you see the contribution of the investment out of these, the search is mostly growing, search, banner, and the maximum growth has happening in search. Then after that, it is in social media advertising. So for all the categories, I will. So exactly overall, what a digital marketing do, a digital marketing marketer do in their broadly. So if you have to conclude in just 2 lines, 2 points, which I have devised these 2 points on my own. So what I feel is a digital marketer at a strategic level. I'm talking about strategize the marketing mix elements. I hope you all are aware that we have 7 P's: product, price, place, promotion, people, process, and physical evidence. So strategizing marketing mix, 7 marketing mix elements, and then achieving your marketing objectives. So digital marketing adds value to traditional marketing. You are not creating any new marketing P or new marketing channel. You are just supplementing it. But the value which you are going to add create a dramatic difference in the revenue streams. How? So overall, there are 4 categories. Now we will come to some broad to some specifics. Now we will follow a funnel approach for this session. So from broad, now we have 4 categories of digital marketing profiles you look in the market. One is related to development, one is related to marketing, third is design, and fourth is content. Development deals with the backend technology which is required to implement behind the online websites or a blog, and basically it's a very highly analytical and technical in nature profiles in digital marketing domain. Second is marketing, as we will discuss out of it. The basically digital marketing falls in this category, the marketing profiles. So design with the designers who design the front end, which is the, for example, the UX part of the website. So we have designers who create the template, who design the visual elements. Content, very important category of profile, because content is the king. It's a famous acronym in digital marketing, is content is the king. Why? Because ultimately the bits and bytes which we transmit from a marketer to the user, it's just the content. And if the content is impulsive, content is influencing, content is genuine, original, and in sync with the overall branding and marketing objectives, the job is done. So we will also look for some profiles in content. Very important slide in front of you, the overall, because previous slide I just shown you the categories of profiles. Now this slide is the types of profiles which are available technically. So if you go from bottom to up, follow the bottom up approach. The functional level is the profile is which you deal with the at executive level. You can be a copywriter, you can be a digital marketing intern, you can be digital marketing executives. So here the main focus would be the consistency and attention to detail. And another level, the next level would be where you would be dealing and managing the team of executives, interns, and the roles and basic roles you may have out of these. You can handle if you go from top, if the head of marketing overall the team, because it's not in the first slide, as I said, marketing, it cannot replace the marketing, so it is overall the part of the marketing. So you have you are reporting to the head of digital marketing, which is again the part of the marketing team. So digital marketing, we have various functions. One is the CRM, the customer relationship management functions. So whenever we say the CRM is basically the four functions we perform in CRM, whether it's CRM or ECRM, which is the customer acquisition, customer retention, customer extension. So in these CRM functions, one of the important digital marketing profile is the automation manager, email and automation manager. I will show you the key responsibilities of each of these important profiles in coming slides. So be with me. Next is a head of social media. So social media is another vertical where we have social media manager, for them reported by the social media executive, and we have now content. As I said, content is the king. So content is basically all the content which is going from your online assets to the end user on the online platform. So we have a content manager, because content manager has to work in sync with the creative team. So here the synchronization should happen between content and the UX, the design part of it. So head of content, we have content manager, then we have content editor, digital designers. We have all these are the specialized profiles. It's not like a general profile. So it's not, we don't require a generalist for these profiles. We need specialists. Okay. So, but at functional level, as I said, you can have digital marketing as executive, which have some fundamental work. They can support all these specialized peoples. But to work at this level, you should have a specialized experience in whether it's in content management, content marketing, or social media marketing. So to reach at that position, at least at this level, for example, after UG, you can start with the digital marketing executive or intern, but gradually you have to find out your specialized area out of this. So this slide will help you to choose in a better way, at least give you a direction where you want to go. Next is creative, very important. Creative deals with the creative front end as well as back end creative tools, supported by back end technical team and front end visual designing team. So we have web developers, we have web designers who are directly working in sync with the content team. We have search engine optimization and search engine marketing team. So both are separate. Here the SEO are all the organic tools which we use, the free tools that comes under SEO, and paid media, which is SEM. So head of SEO is responsible for search engine optimization for their clients. They are known as SEO account manager. Under that, we have search engine optimization executives. We have then other executives reporting to them. So it's another line of specialized line in digital marketing domain. So you can also, if you have interest, I will show you separate slide on this, the key roles and responsibilities for each of the profiles. We have paid media, as I said, the search engine marketing profile. You have to manage your paid media assets, whether it's paid Facebook marketing, whether it's paid search engine campaign. It all comes under a paid media campaign. So we have paid media account manager and paid media executive. We have head of affiliates and partnerships. So we have affiliate partner. Who are the affiliates? Who are third party? For example, I'm LIC insurance. So may have affiliate that is known as policybazaar.com. So Policy Bazaar also generating revenue for me as LIC. So affiliate, because they are affiliate, there are partners as well. They are affiliate, they are generating revenue, they are generating traffic. So we should have certain people at the role which can grow affiliate for us, so that we can mutually grow with each other. So we should have dedicated team to handle those affiliates. So overall, if you see again, this structure is not limited. It's evolving every day because new type of technology comes in. So as of now, these are types of profile which are available in digital marketing. Quickly, I will throw some light on each one of the main profiles, which will give you some idea that what kind of, for example, for social media profiles. As you know, um, if you ask any, it's my personal acronym which I have invented. That is today the generation, your generation, which is the college-going youth. I call them screenagers. They are not teenagers or they are not. I call them screenagers. Why they're screenagers? Because they spend most of their time in front of a screen, whether it's a television or it's a mobile phone, on and all, you always in front of a screen. So at when if you uh, read the Nielsen report, 80% of the time of the online time investment you do is mostly on the social media, and now because it is shifted to streaming, so social media is still is a very important a place where you channelize your opinion, you get influencers, you get opinion leaders. So definitely for in branding point of view, it is very important a place, at least to for customer engagement and for other marketing activations. So this is a typical key role you can have. These are certain skill sets or key roles you have to have when if you want to take a social media profile. For example, at least you should be able to source, create, and publish timely social media content. And there's always a client standard. You have to follow the client standard, where because every client, for example, if you are an advertising agency which deals with digital media, so definitely your client should have different standards. So low lintas if managing the online campaign of McDonald's. and Low Limtas is managing campaign of Tata Tea. So both two different clients. So sourcing would be different. Publishing a social media account would be different. So different client would have different requirements, different standards. So we have one account executive, and under that you can have, because social media is different channel altogether. So you should deal with as per the client standards. You should develop an end-to-end accountable for social media and content campaigns. So again, because content is the central point for all these profiles. So you have to be in sync with the content team if any specialized and approved content is required. General content, definitely, for example, if it is a CRM activity or customer engagement on Facebook, so you can have certain freedom to based on you can interact on your own, but certain guidelines must be there according to a company. But for client specific point of view, for launching a campaign and managing a campaign, then definitely there is a content team which may in and give you inputs. Um, Develop and deliver social media optimization. Whenever we use this optimization, then you are working in sync with the paid owned media, the third vertical. They both should work together, because in social media optimization is not the only organic way, but inorganic also, where you invest money. For example, to get maximum likes, you may invest in Facebook marketing. And for example, Facebook one is one of the platforms. We invest money, and for a certain period of time, you can launch a campaign for Facebook page promotions. So optimizing means getting maximum at a minimum investment, maximum returns overall in briefly. So you are also responsible to develop and deliver it as per the optimization standards involved. Stay current with the social media trend. So again, very important that you should follow the trend. You should apprise yourself what is happening around. And for example, in because it's a famous saying that at physical level, when you communicate a negative things with others, negative feedback, you communicate to 8 to 10 people. But online media, you can communicate to n number of people. So considering the viral effect of the media, definitely you should be responsible for the trend monitoring, and anything which is not in sync with your intended objective of the social media campaign objective, immediately you have to correct it. And this is the biggest difference between traditional media and digital media is the real time monitoring of the trend. Develop a social media editorial. Some companies they require, you may have to prepare it, review and approve content on daily basis, create and manage monthly promotions, grow and expand the company's social media presence into new social media platforms. So it's not like that you are updated with Pinterest or LinkedIn or other platforms, so you are good to go. No, continuously you have to explore the existing platforms. You get to know the uh, the bits and bytes of it, every nit and detail of them. You should be updated well. That's why HR invests heavily in these companies for their training and development. So it's a evolving platform. So always they conduct training and development programming through HR team continuously. Analyze the market, competitors, and audience to create comprehensive reports and improve future marketing strategies and campaigns. Social media analytics and branding, sentiment analysis, very important in political marketing. For example, if the Lok Sabha election is coming or UP election is coming, so definitely all these even political parties have their own IT cell. So they have social media analysts and social media managers. What they do, they monitor sentiment analysis. How we do it? The executive or manager responsible to monitor the trend there. What is it positive sentiment, is it the negative sentiment with respect to certain events or certain speech or certain decisions, whatever. So social media analytics softwares are really helpful to find opinion leaders, influencers, and to ultimately to find the sentiments which are going. And if it is going not as per our wish objective, so definitely immediately corrective measures has to be taken. For example, another important thing is, for example, in branding, a brand person who's always look for, if the company is going for brand extension, so the company would be interested to know the impact of parent brand on the extended brand. So social media before, at the introduction stage of the product life cycle, social media executives are really helpful to monitor the sentiment about the new brand extension. So this is how multiple roles are evolving. Multiple roles comes in. So social media very important vertical in digital marketing. If anyone who loves to interact, loves to connect with others, and love to have this kind of profile, if you love it, definitely this is the area which you can look for. Another is the search engine optimization and search engine marketing profile. A key role, you have to manage all the paid and owned media of the organization, which is the paid and free. And even if it is a blog, it is owned, you have to manage it. So it's not just the keyword management in search engine, it's not the keyword optimization, but overall optimizing the entire SEO campaign, so that, because if you have to define the SEO, is just improving the visibility on search engines. So because 99% of the time we even don't remember the website for a particular product, we just go to Google and search it. And that's why we are so much dependent on the Google, that Google is having the revenue which is equal to GDP of many nations, because we have made them, and we are the product for them. So all the information which is available to search engine listings is all the own media. Every company, they want to come at the top through a certain keywords. So search engine optimization and search engine manager profiles. First thing you have to do is to manage the paid and the own media through search engines. Drive SEO recommendations, the keyword mapping, keyword monitoring, keyword optimization, reporting, overall SEO execution, conduct of research, analyze on-site content, off-site optimization, complete technical audit you should be able to do, effective SEO strategy recommendation for clients based on their key performing indicators, ability to perform keyword-based search. At least you should have fair understanding about how to optimizing HTML tags. A few technical things like UX. You should be able to coordinate with UX team, web designing team, because you have to optimize the website as well. So you should be working with the backend team as well and front end team as well. Okay, you should you should have hands-on experience of Google Analytics. So anyone who loves Google Analytics and who loves to manage, who loves to monitor the traffic, you love to improve your ranking. So definitely this is the area which you can look for. Keyword-based search, analysis, tracking, monitoring, Google Tag Manager, dashboards. You should be able to work cross-functionally with the, as I already said, with all the other departments, including the design teams. Research new SEO tools, because new tools, every time new tools which comes in. So you should be aware about what are the latest tools which are available with us. And also you should be able to recommend based on your actual user scenario. Recommend for your client's profile summary. According to the client's profile summary, you can recommend. So this was the very brief search engine optimization and search engine marketing profiles. Quickly, third is content marketing. What you are supposed to do. As a content marketing manager, you are supposed to develop the content strategy, align execution, development in line with the client's requirement, create the compelling content. When we say compelling, it includes two aspects. One is it should have communication impact, and the content should have sales impact. So overall, any client wants these two aspects: the maximum communication impact, maximum sales impact. So your content, you should create content which should be compelling and achieve these two objectives. And it should be related to business topics, and You should increase the internal external engagement, resulting in lead generation, increasing the subscriber base, increasing the awareness of your offering, and improving all other metrics. Collaborate with content freelancers, designers, product marketing, sales, external influencers, and other stakeholders. You have to coordinate with them. You are responsible to develop, write, and deliver persuasive copy in the form of white papers, industry research, email marketing campaigns, sales, collateral, videos, and blogs, proofreading, edit written pieces before publication. So overall proofreading you have to do, optimize all the content for SEO, because SEO is responsible for optimizing the search engine rankings. But ultimately it is dependent on the content which you are. So you are the backbone for all the other online assets which you are dealing with. So it's all the content. That's why content is the king. So because it is really helpful in keyword based listing on the search engines, and also it makes your websites according to search engine parameters. And one of the first parameter of search engine algorithm, not algorithm but search engine parameter, exactly, it is your content should be genuine and original. So it is can always be driven through if we have a good content writer team. Measure and improve content program, oversee the social media content, should have knowledge of measurement, uh, should have sound knowledge of other metrics for with respect to content marketing, all the tools which are really helpful in content writing, content output. You should be able to establish the tone, character, and messages that will effectively communicate with the target audience and fulfill the desired objectives. You should be a good storyteller, and if you love storytelling, and if you have if you love to write, and if you have good communication skills, good writing skills, and proficiency in tailoring and customizing copy for a varied audience, this is the profile for you. And also, in addition to that, at least you should be a good researcher and good curation. Curation means curating according to individual client needs. So these are few key roles and skills which is required for content marketing profiles. Next is the email automation. A key role, because email marketing is not new. You know very well. We all are well aware of it. But I don't know how many of you know that because lots of brand damage happens because of carpet bombing, which is sending non-relevant emails to the relevant audience, which is a blunder. So here the email and automation comes in. Email, because email is not just mailing to the target audience, but it's more than that. How the first step is permission marketing, where we take the consent and then we send the auto mailers, because email is not just an email, but it's an incentive which we provide to our online audience to get some benefit out of it, whether it's consumer leads information, or whether to influence them to transact, or whether to attract them to our landing page. So just email marketing is not just sending emails. So I hope you understood the importance of email is related to the online reputation management. It is related to the overall the one of the important metrics of email metrics is the bounce rate, for example. If you are getting lots of bounce rates, so definitely there must be some problem technically, as well as if your response rate is less than 50% of all the email campaigns, so there must be some problem. So what could be the problem here? The role of email and automation team comes in. So basically you conduct market and competitor research, you review former campaigns, you build email marketing strategies, including the very important segmentation, sequencing, and content strategy of the email drip campaigns. For example, it's as already said to you, for example, fundudata.com, they sell lots of used databases. The ultimate objective, why companies are purchasing from them, is just because the importance of that email. Because when personalized email comes and when you have given consent of through email permission marketing, so ultimately the response rate would be higher. So today the companies are not going through carpet bombing, but they always look for permission marketing. So nowadays, if you see lots of email which we come, they always have unsubscribe option in that. And when you give consent through permission marketing, then definitely the response rate automatically increases. And the triggered action, which is linked to the email content pillar, so that improves the action also. A triggered action can be filling the inquiry form, or completing the transaction, or completing the transaction of something is in the shopping cart. It can be anything. So you perform weekly, monthly reports based on email matrices, email fundamentals, fundamental knowledge about the reputation, spam, security, deliverability, and most important thing, it should have a workflow management skills with reference to email and automation. So these were the few profiles and a few. The list is not exhaustive. Please remember, every organization may have different requirements, different clientels, and different types of online tools they might adopt. So based on that, this list of key roles and skills might differ. So, but I have tried to include the standard set of heroes, which has to be there in these different types of digital marketing profile. And the last one, which I have included, is the creative uh, profile in digital marketing domain. You must have heard about designations in digital marketing like the creative head, the creative manager. So basically, what they do, they develop creative ideas and communication that successfully translate brand and business requirement needed. So overall, if you see is the strategic role, if you see the creative head, the strategic role the person plays is they lead the team of the graphic designers, content writers, video editors, and overall for what? To create amazing creative content. Okay, so for example, if you see any television ad, so if the television ad copy or any print ad copy is there, so who approves it? Is the creative head which approves it. Because the impact analysis we first do in beta testing, or where the communication and sales impact to be derived from it, if it is as per our branding objective, overall marketing objective, and whether it's suitable for uh, what communication channels we are using simultaneously. And so overall, this person is responsible to coordinate with all the important stakeholders like graphic, content, video, and other stakeholders. So overall, you should have a very good creative side of intent, very good drafting skills, very good idea visualization, and at least that is subjective quality we should have there. But there's technical proficiency is also required, like we should be aware about various mind mapping tools which are available with us. We should be aware how to use it. The person would be accountable for the quality of final delivery, like creative, grammar, spelling, syntax, overall integrity of the communication. uh, when we say integrity of the communication, so creative head's role becomes critical, because um, creative head is responsible to find out whether the communication is having the is gelling with the overall the the company's vision and mission. It's not like, for example, if Mercedes is launching a new SUV in future, for example, so they cannot launch a campaign for a wrong segment. They have different segment altogether. They don't include in segment of mid-side SUV by Maruti or some other segment. So overall, if they launch an online campaign for that particular segment, so definitely the STP becomes critical, and this creative head is responsible to see the overall the communication and the overall synchronization with the other brand elements. And one of them is the brand safety, the term which we use in branding, the brand safety strategy. So play a major part in pushing the creative envelope and create the wow factor through their team. All the graphic designs, including brochures, business card, overall the graphic elements and entities which we use like magazines, portfolio, boxes, bags. Overall, the person is responsible for the at least integrated way, integrated marketing communication tools. In that way, integrated image should be portrayed through all the campaigns. Create and maintain company presentation layouts, create designs, concepts, sample layouts, prepare illustrations or rough sketches of marketing materials, making necessary changes, knowledge of 3D softwares like Maya, Adobe Photoshop, Illustrator, V-Ray, etc. So this person, even if you are creative executive, at least you should, in the beginning, if you are entering into those segments. So all the advertising agencies has a creative department, and if you want to join that vertical, at least these basic knowledge skills should be there. So affiliate and the affiliate partnership profile quickly. I think uh, running short of time, so I will not take more than 2-3 minutes. Affiliate partnership profile in digital marketing is because, as I told you, the affiliate are very important revenue generator and traffic generator. So they are partners as well. So for real estate companies, Magic Bricks is the affiliate. So for example, in that way, the as a real estate company, definitely I should have affiliate marketer who's dealing with the magicbricks.com, or for LIC, the policybazaar.com, or for hotels, it can be Trivago. So research, recruit and activate new affiliates, build relationship and maximize performance from existing affiliates. Manage API and non-API. Briefly, API is application programming interface, is just the set of protocols where two applications interact with each other. For example, Amazon shopping app and Amazon seller app, both are different apps for two different entities, but they interact with each other because of this affiliate KPI, the APIs. So be the subject matter expert on the affiliate marketing the company. You should be able to negotiate deals, promotion and incentives with the affiliates, coordinate and manage newsletter assets and special promotions for the affiliates. Identify them, work closely with them, build relationship, generate future, further exposure. Because of mutual growth we look for. If they don't grow, you will also not grow, because you both are interdependent. Because whatever search engine optimization you take, if you're not coming on the top 10 of the page, definitely you would require, you may require affiliate to generate leads online. So you cannot ignore affiliate marketers. So you have to be there. So these affiliate may, if you want to join them, definitely these skills are required. And so overall, that's all from my side. I have tried to give you certain brief snapshots of all the profiles which are available. I hope if I have to give concluding remarks, first of all, digital marketing domain is always ever evolving. Every day is happening something new. It's always result driven and then highly dynamic in nature. So it's a double-edged sword. I would say if you're coming into this profile, definitely you have to update yourself every time. It's very exciting, no doubt. If something is dynamic and ever evolving, always gives greater scope of learning eventually. And always online, because of online media, every entity is having equal playing field. Even small entrepreneurs having very small venture, we're also getting equal opportunity to online marketing domain. So everybody can grow here. So it's an equal playing field for all. So all those aspiring graduates who want to make a career in digital marketing domain. So I hope my presentation must have helped you to a certain extent. If a little bit, then my job is done. So That's all from my side. Thank you very much. So over to you, Dr. Nidhi. Any questions from your side? Most welcome. Over
Any
to you, Nidhi ma'am.
questions would like to put on a chat box? I think, sir, it was quite a comprehensive presentation you have given. Our participants definitely would have gained a lot and understood like how to enter into a digital marketing now. So since last 5 days, they have been hearing so much of digital marketing, what all has to be done. And today you have given them and maybe shown them a path how to actually now what kind of a jobs or what kind of a routes they can have to actually enter into the world of digital marketing. I think it's like 4:30. I think the last session of the 5 days workshop. So no questions, but you can definitely, whenever you have any questions, they can reach out to you.
Most welcome, and thank you so much. And it's my honor and privilege to be on board for this session, and hope to have more sessions and together for the benefit of the students. So
Thank you.
always for you. So
Thank
anytime.
you, sir, just accepting our invitation in such a short time. And we really look forward to meet you again, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Nidhi Gupta for presenting report on the workshop.
Good evening to one and all present here. Today marks the end of 5 days workshop on digital marketing and innovation on business growth. The 5 days workshop imparted the knowledge and hands-on training on the digital tools and techniques. The event was spread over 5 days with a series of sessions by the industry experts aimed to build digital and social media marketing skills among students, academicians, and budding entrepreneurs. The first day of the workshop session commenced by an eminent industry expert, Mr. Barry Lynch, Managing Director, Paradigm Coaching, Ireland, on the theme Innovation as a Key Source of Business. Mr. Barry talked about how to enhance the organization's culture of innovation through digitization and discussed the strategies required for building mindset for success. The second session of the day one was conducted on the topic Role of Innovation for Framing Marketing Strategy by Ms. Gauri Kachrekar, Head of Public and Global Services, Toyota. She explained the 3Cs model of Kenji's Ome of how competitors, customers, and companies influence the digital market world. She also focused on various aspects of marketing innovation and its impact on the business world. The third and last session of day one was on hands-on experience on MX Excel by Mr. Rafiq, Microsoft certified trainer. On the second day of the workshop, our speaker, Ms. Harpreet Kaur, Head of Marketing, KGOC Group, shared her insights on the topic Analytics to Drive Digital Marketing Strategy. She shed light on importance of digital analytics, which has a more focused approach, optimum utilization of resources, and is good for result measurements. The second session of day two was on hands-on training on web designing by Mr. Kavya Soni, principal engineer at X210X. He introduced the basics of website and provided training to the participants on how to develop a website from scratch using Webflow. On second day, the participants learned how to make an app in a step-by-step procedure from Mr. Sid Puri, who is a computer science graduate from University of California, Berkeley, and currently head of growth for Retool in India. Moreover, he also offered free vouchers for participants up to $1,000, which they can avail to build apps. On the third day of the workshop, Mr. Chandan Singh, Google certified digital marketing expert, joined us to speak on the topic search engine optimization, achieving sustainable traffic growth. He explained the participants the techniques of search engine optimization and its application to increase customer experience and to get maximum benefits on social media. The fourth day of the workshop, we had with us Mr. Chaitanya Sharma, digital marketing expert, who shared his knowledge on Google AdWords and managing ad campaigns in the first half, while social media marketing strategies in the second half of the day. He embraced the participants with the tools and techniques required to succeed in digital marketing. The final day of the workshop commenced with the discussion on the topic Customer Relationship Management in Digital Era by Ms. Lipsa Satpathy, Lead Digital Marketing and CRM, Aditya Birla Fashion and Retail. She threw light on digital CRM and engaging customer through gamification. The second session followed by Mr. Amit Pradhan on the topic cybersecurity issues and challenges. The session was very interactive and full of learning about the cybersecurity attacks. He also shared a tip to create secure password as 90% of cyber hacks was due to weak password. Afternoon session was conducted by our eminent speaker, Mr. Siddharth Deshmukh, Senior Advisor and Adjunct Professor, MICA, on global trends in digital marketing. He shared the recent trends such as changing nature of search, customer sophistications, and creating brand experience. The final session of the workshop was conducted by Dr. Dharmendra Pandey, sir, a digital marketing expert who briefed the participants about various career opportunities in digital marketing. In 5 days workshop, participants were assessed through 3 quizzes on various content covered during the workshop. With this, we come to the end of our 5 days workshop on digital marketing and innovation for business growth. And we believe that participants have benefited from this workshop in their career progression towards digital age. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Nidhi. Now I would like to invite our respected director, Professor Dr. J.K. Sharma, sir, for his closing remarks on the 5 days workshop.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Deepa and Dr. Nidhi. And I really appreciate the kind of the best effort that you applied for organizing this wonderful workshop of 5 days, starting from morning till evening. And with the number of students who participated attending this conference, I'm sure they must have learned a lot as far the marketing concepts are concerned and certain innovative tools of that. I was listening to part of the lecture of our learned speaker Pandeyji, and he spoke very well about certain things which are important for the students to learn about. And there are many more speakers who have delivered their lectures, and I learned a lot from them. Though I am not the man of marketing, but I have learned a lot about marketing in these 5 days time. So the credit goes to Deepa and Nidhi, who had given me as an individual chance to learn something about marketing and innovative tools which are involved and which can be practiced by the marketers. The thanks also goes to the students, organizer, and their sincere efforts applied there throughout the 5 days time. I also would like to sincerely, express my sincere thanks and gratitude to our Honorable Founder President, Dr. Ashok Chauhan, who had given us a chance to organize such kind of activities, and his blessings too. My gratitudes are also towards our Honorable Chancellor and Vice Chancellor, who had encouraged the ASP faculty members for taking this kind of initiative for continuously, and also ever ready to motivate them. So thank you very much, participants who had come here today for attending this conference and workshop, and also my thanks to all my speakers who had come one by one from Monday to Friday for delivering their lectures. I also wish, as Dr. Pandey says, that he is ready to be with us anytime, whenever we require his the advice and services. Similarly, I would also humbly request to all my learned speakers to oblige us as and when we require them. Ravinji, we are thankful for you for your precious time that you have spent with us, and we would certainly like that once the God has blessed us to be seeing each other physically, we would like you to invite here at ASB, MIT University, Noida campus, for being with us and speak to our students. Thank you very much once again to all my colleagues here who are attending this conference today. Thank you very much. And my thanks to once again to Deepa and Nidhi who had really spent very precious time of their, and they had really worked very hard for organizing this activity of 5 days. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your words of motivation. It always encourages us to keep on doing a good work. So, on behalf of entire workshop team, I would like to thank our Honorable Founder President, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, sir, Honorable Chancellor, Dr. Atul Chauhan, sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Balwinder Shukla, ma'am, respected Director, sir, Professor Dr. J.K. Sharma, sir, for creating such wonderful learning opportunities for us. I would like to extend a heartfelt gratitude to all the distinguished speakers who spared their valuable time and conducted enlightening sessions during these 5 days of workshop. The workshop would not have been possible without participants. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank all our participants who have been very, very interactive in all the sessions and just have enriched our learning experience. For successful conduct of any event, a lot of back-end support is required. And this event would not have been possible without the support of our students and faculty coordinators. I would like to thank all of them for their continuous untiring efforts for last almost 1 month. Lastly, I can't miss the IT team of MIT University for their support during these 5 days. So with this, we come to an end of 5 days workshop on digital marketing and innovation for business growth. Thank you everyone for joining. And we look to meet you in the future for future workshops. Thank you everyone.
Thank you, Apple.
Thank you everyone.